I think what an athlete needs the most, if anything, is like-minded individuals who are going through the same thing. Find individuals who are dedicated to their craft the same way you are, regardless of their success. But you know there's somebody who practices all the time, because those are individuals who get it. And when you get knocked down, because you will, and when you have those moments of defeat and lack of confidence, keep going. Remember your purpose and why you started. And life rewards the consistent and the hardworking.
Welcome back, Ashley Weissmann, to The Young Athletic. How you doing today?
I'm good. Happy to be back. Thank you.
I heard about your big promotion and wanted to have you back. And obviously, you've got a ton of different things going on with your business as well. So,
Oh, yeah.
what do you want to start with?
Ah,
We were just talking about Redline, and
yeah,
let's
we can start there. Redline's been good. Recently promoted as of January 1st, so really fresh. I am now the business development manager. So a lot of my role consists of building partnerships, scheduling floor rentals, tours, parent talking, behind the scenes marketing and sales, and just all things business to Redline. So yeah, it's been fun.
And how's it going so far?
It's going well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Memberships are up. The facility is packed in the evenings. It feels super energetic and lively.
In the evenings, like the sport, like the afternoon activities, or like the evening evenings?
Well, I would say, so we open up at 2. I would say like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, quieter hours. 4 o'clock, people start coming in. But like that 5 o'clock hour and on, it's just so fun. You got a bunch of teams, a bunch of high athletes. We've opened up a football program, so that's going on. It's just a lot of different things happening at once, and the energy's fun. You can feel it. The kids are working hard, so it's been a fun time. Yeah.
Good energy in the building.
Great energy. Only good energy allowed. Part of my job is kicking out bad energy. So
Yeah, it's
no, just kidding.
That's important too.
But yeah.
I think everyone that goes to Redline wants to be there. That's a big difference
100%.
between a high school athlete that has to do PE versus an elite athlete that wants to get better and improve themselves.
Yeah, 100%. Or like even now that school's back and then like full swing, we have a huge partnership with homeschool programs. So we'll get a lot of kids who are homeschooled and needing to fulfill that fitness aspects of their curriculum. Come to Redline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do they have the 5 o'clock, or are they earlier?
They're usually earlier. Yeah, it depends. They're usually earlier, but just because you're homeschooled doesn't mean you're not an elite athlete, right? A lot of elite athletes nowadays sometimes do a homeschool route so they can just train more. So
I've learned about athletes that stay back a year.
Yes,
that's
I heard about that in college.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
Or like those college like prep schools, right? Where like you go for like you graduate high school and then you take a year in between to kind of refine and maybe do like prerequisites. I don't know like how it works exactly, and then do your 4 years after that. Yeah. But yeah.
So what's you've got this new position. What are the next goals for you in Redline? The next 6 months, the next year?
I think just to keep helping them grow, just to keep filling the place with youth that want to be better. We love having athletes. It's fun, right? When you have an athlete who's dedicated and wants to get better and is like in grind mode, that's so fun to coach. Mm-hmm. But a lot of our athletes are also just kids who need to do some movement, right? Whose parents want them to get off the video games for a little bit. And the more athletes we can have in the facility in general, I think just the better livelihood and health lifestyle of just all kids across Ventura and Oxnard. So
yeah, you got to get out of the house.
You got to get out of the house. Redline gets me out of the house. So over the next 6 to 12 months, I hope to get out of the house more. That's what Redline does.
I think when people ask me for soccer advice, I give it soccer advice. But if they ask me for like speed and agility, I always point them to Redline.
Yeah.
If they need to fix their body mechanics,
go
to Redline.
100%. And a lot of that, like to your point, we'll have young athletes starting as young as 8 for our sports performance class. So, I'm giving a tour to a parent and I'm telling them, like, teach them the mechanics now. Like, oftentimes kids are growing, their bodies are changing. So the way they did a squat when they're younger is not going to be the same as they're older. And it's so important to fix those mechanics at a young age, because if they do become some elite athlete at the next level, you don't want them to be in a weight room for the first time and not know how to do a back squat and then potentially injure themselves. So parents get it, right? Even if they're not an elite athlete, maybe they'll just be an adult who goes to the gym, and like just knowing how to do it and that you've done this before is a really good foundation for like future growth.
Yeah, just being active.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's hard.
Being active is hard.
It takes discipline.
It does.
But it's worth it, and especially to do it like in a good facility with a lot of good energy.
Great energy.
Are you still doing your character classes there?
I am.
Yeah? How are those?
We just did January's. It was on the topic of the power of pause. So being able to pause before you respond, right? Like we have a trigger and then we typically have a reaction. And 9 out of 10 times, the reaction that we have is not what we wanted. And then we later on regret it, or, just didn't sit right. So just teaching them how you're going to get triggered. Life is supposed to be triggering, so don't be surprised when it happens. But like what you get to decide is how long you pause before responding, and really focusing on that your pause is what you're allowed to do. And if people have a problem with your pause, that's their problem to have. So if you need to take a full-on break from a conversation, or if you need to take a couple of deep breaths and that irritates somebody, well, that's their irritation, right? And you get to decide and then respond after. So
they need to pause on your pause.
You got to pause. They got to pause on the pause. So it was good. Yeah, I try to cap it at 15. But of course, if, other athletes want to come in, I'll never say no. It just helps me understand like class size. So this last one we had 17, 18. Yeah, it was good.
So is that like a couple times a month with the same group? Like how does that work?
Once a month.
Once a month, okay.
Yeah, so it's once a month. The topic changes. It's free for Redline members. And anybody can come. I try to make the youngest age 10. Yeah. If you're 9, some 9-year-olds are extremely emotionally intelligent and they bring a lot to the class. So I don't want to say no, but I do encourage the parent to stay just so that the classes are more focused on topics and learning and not managing the classroom. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I don't coach super little kids. I don't want to be a babysitter.
It can be tough. Yeah. It can be tough. But the coach that I am on the floor, which is stern and demands excellence, is the same coach in the classroom. And they know that. So they're really good. I've never had a problem yet. But, you give them that look and say, all right, it's your one warning or you can go. And they tighten up pretty quick. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So are they usually at the start of the month or like
mid-month?
Mid-month.
And it's so funny. I always joke because people are like, well, what's next month's topic? Yeah. And I'll be like, it depends on what I'm going through next month. Like whatever I teach is typically something that I myself need to hear or like have been focusing on. And then I'll set the topic. And that way it's just more natural because no matter how old you are, we all need to pause. So that's how it goes.
Yeah. I mean, it's important to do that for yourself. It's like you're coaching yourself.
Oh, yeah. 100%. It never stops, right? And just emphasizing, like, it's more than sports. Like, yes, right? You get a bad ref call. We've seen it all the time. That player freaks out, then they get ejected, and the coach freaks out, the coach is ejected. They all got to pause. Mm-hmm. But, like, once your sport is over, you might be driving it cut off in traffic. Like, what do you do next? Or kid cuts you in line at school. What do?
Yeah.
So
try not to make an emotional decision.
Pause. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, whenever we have like a tough game and the parents are a little upset, I try not to respond until the next day.
Good.
When everyone's settled down a little bit more.
Yeah. See? And that's great for you, right? Because if a parent was upset, like, hey, coach, you're not seeing my text, that's their reaction, and you're still allowed to wait till the next day. Yeah. So good job pausing.
I typically wait. Some people think I pause too long, but
well, there's a balance.
It works for me.
Okay.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about your business, BeWeiss Coaching. You told me a little bit about your new social media manager.
I did. Business is going well. Yeah. I know. I think we even met before it was my 1 year mark. So it was still new.
It was really new.
And it was exciting. And now it's like, it's still new and exciting, but it's been busy, which is awesome. A couple months back, was asked to speak at an annual youth conference for Ventura County Department of Education. And that was like a really big opportunity for my business. And that has led to other opportunities. And I'm speaking with them again at another conference they're having this week, Thursday and Friday.
Oh, wow. This week.
Are
you ready to go?
Always.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. This week, Thursday, Friday. And then hopefully I'm linking up with some high schools and we'll be talking with them a couple weeks following up after that. So it's just been busy in all the good ways. Did my first Zoom seminar with a softball team out in Texas. It was very fun. It was a lot of yes ma'ams, which I love.
Oh, yeah. I love
They're
that
like,
stuff.
yes, ma'am. And I was like, oh, I'm in California. Usually it's like, okay, coach, yeah, bro, got it. Like, I'll take a yes, ma'am all day. So it's fun to see it grow because a year ago, this is what I was like hoping for, planning for, right? So like setting a goal of like, okay, let me try Zoom sessions so I can expand across the country for people who can't necessarily afford to fly me, but I can still be accessible. Mm-hmm. And it was my first one, and it was nervous and it was scary, but you know, I've done Zoom stuff before, so I was like, you just got to do it. Yeah.
I've gotten a couple requests to do Zoom podcasts.
Yeah.
Like for this. And I'm always like, I'd love to do it in person. You know, I still want to keep it in person.
Yes.
There's something about just talking to someone, no distractions, you know, nothing else going on, face to face.
100%.
So I haven't got there yet with Zoom, but I'll consider it a little bit more.
See how it goes.
Yeah.
It's definitely, I prefer in person for sure. It's hard to read body language over Zoom. If they're too far from the camera, you can't really see. My classes are really interactive, and I like to throw out free merch when kids participate. So like you lose that aspect of it. But like I said, it's scary until you do it. And then you're like, oh, and then now that door opens up so many other opportunities for other schools or programs or whatever. So
talk about the social media side. You know, we're both small business owners.
Yes.
And we have to post like crazy, and you've taken a different route now.
I did. I've recently hired a social media manager, which was like a big deal because one, you're just losing control. Yeah. And that's the hard part. But then I really sat down and thought about it. I'm like, well, I'm not doing it anyways because there's so many other things that have to get done that I have to do. And I had to ask myself, like, do I have to do this? And can someone do it better? And I think if you consistently ask yourself that question, do I have to do this? And can somebody do it better? And if you kind of operate from that swim lane, like you're going to set yourself up for success. So when I asked myself, I was like, I don't have to do this and somebody can definitely do it better. It was a no-brainer that I was at the point of where I needed to do that. And I hired her, and she has been a rock star ever since. And the first scheduled post went out today, and I have 4 posts a week until mid-February. And I never would have done that myself. So
is the post today the image of you?
Yes.
That's a good image.
It's crazy. And those are old images that I've had. And now I'm like, I need to go take more images. And it's just like, you just give them the raw data, like clips of character class, unedited photos, and they put the flyer, the captions, they schedule it. You know, they have their own strategy and hashtags, and they're searching all that stuff for me and me not having to do it. And it's like, yeah, should have done this a long time ago, but we're here now.
Giving up control, though. I mean, like I mentioned, I gave up part of my audio process to some guy, and he did a good job for a couple of episodes, and then just fell off the face of the earth. So it's hard to find good people.
It is, and you have to keep going when you don't, and I think that's the hard part, right? Like with anything, you take the risk of letting go of control, and you get to the point of like, okay, I'm going to try something new, and then it's good until it's no longer good, and then you're like, I'm not going to do that ever again. But like that's the challenge right there. How do you overcome the I'm not going to ever do that again and instead say, okay, didn't work out. Let me find somebody new and let me keep trying because there was a part of it that was useful, right? It saved you time. He was good. He He just, was unresponsive. It didn't work out. That's okay. It doesn't mean stop looking, but that's the trap.
Yeah, well, I've stopped looking.
It's okay. It was supposed to trap you, and it did.
Yeah, it got me.
And now it's what you do next.
Yeah, no, I'll consider it. I focus all my stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then Instagram is second, and then, TikTok is last.
Yeah.
But, every time I ask the kids around me, like, what do you use? And they say TikTok.
Yes.
So
TikTok is popular. TikTok is my biggest following, and I have posted some videos on my own without a manager that have gone viral, but I don't know the rhyme or the reason. Like, you just post whatever. It was almost like my catch-all where I just throw stuff at the wall and see if it worked. So I'd always test it there and then be like, okay, and then post on Instagram, because to me that feels more of like the business thing, but maybe it's because I'm 32 and not a 20-something-year-old TikToker. But
I remember one of my posts did really well. I just posted some clip of a soccer player scoring, but then like TikTok put like music to it and a couple of captions like automatically. I didn't even do it, and it like did really well. So
there you go.
I don't know what happened.
Me neither.
But it worked.
Well, there you go. See, and then it's like, well, how do I do that again and again and again? Versus like, I don't know what happened, it worked, and then you post some other stuff, it doesn't work, and then just banging my head against the wall. So I was like, you know what? Hire someone.
Okay, well, maybe I'll get in touch with
There you go.
your social media
You
manager.
let me know.
I mean, it's a new job, 'cause
Yeah.
you got to post.
You have to post.
There's no getting around it. And you
Yeah.
have to stay consistent with it.
And that's the hard part. Consistency, letting go of control, facing a setback, bouncing back, right? All things we talk about in sports, but like carry over to life. And with the youth, that's all I'm trying to get to them is like, hey, the way you feel in a game when you're frustrated because something small didn't go your way is exactly how you're going to feel in life. So why not practice it and be aware of it? Because what you do have that most people don't have is the opportunity to fail over and over and over and over again in a controlled space.
Yeah. Without any real consequences.
Because you're going to. You're supposed to. And then you get out of your controlled space, you go in the real world, and all of a sudden it feels way different, but you're not able to see, like, no, they're the exact same thing. One was just a little bit more safer because you're allowed to be upset and make mistakes, and one doesn't feel as safe because it's the real world and you have to figure it out as you go. So,
yeah.
A lot to learn in youth sports.
Does that message, stick with the athletes that you're training, you think?
I hope so. Yeah. You really never know. Yeah. I mean, there's a few that I know because they'll tell me, and I always appreciate it. Or their parents will reach out and say, hey, we saw a really big change. Or like, whatever the case is. But, you get a kid who comes to a character class once and never comes again. And it's just like, okay. And then I have kids who consistently come every month who will be upset if they can't make it. So, you can't save everybody. And I think all you're really trying to do is just influence one. And maybe at this age, it may not click, but at some point in time, something will happen. And if they can just think back to I remember hearing this in a class when I was younger, that's a win.
What's some of the most fulfilling feedback that you've gotten from either an athlete or a family member?
I think the most fulfilling feedback I've gotten, I would say from a parent, is that they've never seen their athlete play so confidently and bounce back from mistakes in the way that they do since we've been connecting. Because it's so hard, right? As a parent, you see your kid, they make a mistake. Now they're they're crying, right? They're unshakable. So to see your kid go from that to someone who can make a mistake and you're kind of bracing what happens and they kind of just shake it off and keep going, amazing. And then I would say from an athlete themselves, the feedback of it's relatable, that you are someone relatable, I think is so encouraging because there are decades between who I'm talking to. Right. And it's I was their age. There comes a time where you're just okay, I don't want to listen to you. You're not in this space, or that was years ago, or you don't get it. But I do get it because I was in this space. And although, again, we're decades apart, I may not know exactly how you're feeling and you don't know exactly how I'm feeling, but I do know what pressure feels like and what failure feels like and letting people down. And I think those are topics that anyone can relate to.
Yeah, one of the guests I had maybe 6 months ago at this point, he said coaching is connecting.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, you got to remember that.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you just want to tell them what to do without, having that connection first.
Yeah. And the best part about what I do as a mindset coach, and I tell parents this all the time, and I tell athletes that I work with like on a one-on-one basis, like whether or not you change is up to you. And that's the best part about my job. I have no failure because it's on you. I can sit here similar to coaches, right? I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do. The player doesn't do it. You feel like you failed. That wasn't on you. The player has to take it. Now, are there ways you can deliver it and relay the message so that it's easier to take? Yes. And I think I do a good job at that. But whether or not you take a breath before you decide to do something is totally up to you. It's totally up to your athlete. I'm here to just give them tools. Whether they use it or not is not in my control. And that's the best part about what I do, because it doesn't have to be in my control. Mm-hmm. Now, what makes me a great coach is they then go do it, right? But whether they do or do not is their choice.
Yeah. I think it's a little, like I've got, girls. I've got a new team now.
Nice.
A team of girls. But you have to find the ones that not only have the skill and the talent and the speed and the aggressiveness, but also the mindset.
Yeah.
Are they coachable? Are they willing to listen? Are they willing to learn?
Yeah.
So you have to, we're having tryouts in a month, and it's like I'm picking the girls that are all moving in the same direction.
100%. Regardless of talent, you got to be talented. But you ask any coach, they would take a kid with not as much raw talent, but who they can coach up to whatever they need them to be, because they will listen, they will absorb, they'll push back when they need to push back, but they're going to take what you're teaching them and they're going to go run with it. And it's like, if you can just hold on to that, if like someone who's uncoachable, you're not going to fix in a practice. Like, it's going to take some work. It's going to be like, okay, why is it hard for you to, right? There's like a lot of deeper stuff going on in there. And that's through the work that I do with a one-on-one. I get it, right? Like, one-on-one sessions with me are 6 sessions at a time. We'll get to session 4, and I'm still like, I don't think this kid gets anything I'm saying. I think they're just showing up because their parents here.
What do you mean one-on-one sessions? Like athletic training or mindset?
No,
sessions?
like mindset coaching.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can sign up with me, or like you can sign your athlete up for 6 one-on-one mindset sessions.
Oh, okay. I thought they were just classes.
Classes too. Yeah, so classes, speaking engagements are my favorite. So doing the larger classes, the interactiveness, love all that. The one-on-one sessions I do. It's not the main part of my business, but I do have that. So I've worked with several athletes on a one-on-one basis. And I would say the majority of them, it starts to click. It starts to work. You start to hear, hey, how was your week? They're telling things that they've did that they've learned from you. And sometimes you get one and you're like, so how's it going? Like, what's up with the week? And like, oh, nothing. Okay.
That would be me.
Yeah. Right? And like, you build rapport and, you do what you can, but you just know that at some point, like, you can only do so much. I mean, similar to a coach, right? You can only coach an athlete so much. They have to take what you coach or like what you've given them and then implement it.
What I've learned about like athletes that remind me of myself.
Yeah.
Just like maybe ask them a question and then just wait.
Yeah.
Because it comes out a little at a time. Just wait.
Yeah.
They'll say part of the answer, and maybe like 30 seconds later, they'll give you another little part of the answer, and 30 seconds later, another part.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, but it's fun to do one-on-one. I mean, how is that different than being in a group dynamic?
It's more intimate, because you learn more about the athlete. Like, and it's not even... It's about the sport, but I just learn about them in general. Like, what's up with your friend group? Because all that plays a part, right? You have homework, your parents on your back. Like, of course, by the time you get to practice, it's hard for you to focus. You're thinking of so many other things. So it's more intimate. You get to normalize feelings on a one-to-one basis a little bit more. And you get to tell kids, like, I would also be upset if I was you. That's a normal reaction. They kind of go, oh, okay, like, good.
Being upset's okay.
It's okay, but what do you do after that, right? And that's where the coaching part comes in. So, yeah.
How long are these? Like 6? Are they 6 weeks?
6 sessions bi-weekly, unless the parent says otherwise, right? So I always say, hey, it's 30 minutes. It's over Zoom. And I'll say I typically will schedule them bi-weekly because with youth athletes, if they have nothing to talk about, they'll have nothing to talk about. But there are times where the parent will be like, hey, can we actually meet every week instead? Or like these next 3 weeks is going to be really busy and hectic for her. Can we meet every week to help her kind of balance or help him kind of balance it out? And you're like, yeah. So the scheduling frequency I'm open to. It's always a 30-minute session just because you will lose time or lose like attention with youth athletes over Zoom. Yeah.
You know, you're doing such a great job inspiring these kids.
Hopefully.
What's inspired you lately?
Oh, what's inspired me lately? That's a great question.
You got to fuel up somehow.
2 things came to mind. One, just feeding the fire. That's like the inner athlete, right? Like what inspires me is success. So something good happens. I'm an athlete, right? We want that next fix. And it's more than just the success of it. I'm starting to think of this as like the amount of people I am connecting with. So it inspires me, like with the Zoom, right? Never would have done that, never have done that. But now I'm like, well, I just connected with 13 athletes and 15 staff members. Like that's 18 people that I never knew before that now know me, that I have hopefully influenced in a positive way for their state championship run of a season. So that's inspiring to be like, okay, how can I repeat that process? How do I do it again? So that keeps me going. And I would say the other thing is just like longevity and freedom. I'm a big free spirit type of person. I don't like to be told what to do and when to do it, right? Like most of us. So the ability to be flexible and to do my own thing and just that entrepreneurial mindset, I think I am now realizing I have always had. And now it's kind of like the seed that was planted is slowly starting to get like little sprouts. And it's like, okay, this is for a bigger picture, right? It's like connecting with athletes, connecting with adults, also flexibility to just live life and work in a field that's passion driven and also can provide financial freedom. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of motivators.
It takes time to get that financial freedom, but
100%.
but the flexibility of time is the payoff.
Yeah. That's freedom in itself, right? And then you find, like, I'm not doing this full time. That'd be super scary if someone was like, hey, do this full time. It's not financially feasible. But then you find other avenues that align. Redline aligns because it's athlete focused, right? It's a facility. It aligns with my passion to just improve things and grow things. And that's like a big part of what I do at Redline is like, how can I improve and grow and make the membership experience even better for those? So it's like, do what you love and then find things that align with what you love and still keep your freedom and flexibility. And that's a pretty great life. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I've talked to some friends because it's, you know, the other thing that I struggle with is like building a team to help the business. Like you know, you got a social media manager, but like, you know, you have to build I think you have to build a team for success, for long-term success. And then you have to find people with the same spirit. And not everyone has the same spirit. Some people want a 9-to-5.
Yeah.
That's safety.
Yeah.
You know? So, I don't know. But I totally understand what you mean about the freedom.
100%. It's so hard to like align with yourself with others who get it because most won't, right? Like I work like 3 different jobs, right? Including BeWeiss coaching. But I don't ever feel like I'm working 3 different jobs because they're all jobs that align with my overall values. And then eventually as you grow and you build your own team, you can then reduce hours somewhere else. You know, you have that flexibility to do so. But yeah, it's hard building a team because you have the trust and like of control but just like anything else, you start small. You started with the audio guy, right? Now you start small again.
He was cool too. We could have been friends, you know?
Hit him up. Hit him up. Maybe he got busy.
Maybe
Maybe he's poor at communication.
He had a kid.
Okay.
Like a 3-month-old or something.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
But I don't know.
He was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he was like in Maryland or something.
There you go. Yeah.
What do you do to give your athletes confidence? You know, you spend all this time training them. Well, what's the next step? How do you take them from good to great?
That is a wonderful question.
Because I'm thinking about like the Bills coach that just got fired.
Yeah.
He's a good coach, but they didn't get to the Super Bowl, and they
Yeah.
need someone to get them to the Super Bowl. How do you get your players to the Super Bowl of sport?
Wow. How do I get them to the Super Bowl? It's so hard. I have so many thoughts in my head right now, and I'm trying to see how I want to lay them out. The first thing that initially came is when you said, how do you instill confidence in your players? My first thought was like, I don't. They got to instill it themselves. Right? But now that's like, yes, right? You have to be, you can tell somebody, and maybe you've experienced this, you have a great player, lacks confidence. When they're confident, they're the best on the team, but they're only that player 10% of the time. No matter how many pep talks you give them, no matter how much tough love you give them, right? You can't really figure out what gets them going. And confidence is so tricky because it's a self-belief. You have to believe you're confident. And everybody struggles with imposter syndrome or those moments where they don't feel confident. I mean, I do all the time, right? I could have a great seminar and I know it's great because everybody's like, oh my gosh, that was so amazing. Thank you. And I could leave and get into the car and be like, oh, that could have been better, you know? So confidence is tough. I think athletes build confidence through trial and error. You try things, you fail. You try it again, you fail. And eventually when you try it, you don't fail. And now you have confidence. Confidence is built through action. So if I wanted to get my team from good to great, I'd probably run them through the wall over and over and over again until eventually they figured out how to get over the wall or a different way around the wall or something like that. And of course, you know, positive feedback, pick them up, tough love. You find those pockets of when to push and when to pull. But I think great coaches push their teams more, right? You do extra reps and I'm not a coach in that regard. I don't coach a team. I coach athletes individually or like as a group about their mindset. But the talk that I would give them is you got to do more. Good people do good things all the time. Great people do more. And if you're unwilling to do more, which most people are, then be okay with being good, but you'll never be great.
What is the more that they need to do? More training, more game planning, more preparation? What kind of more are we talking about?
I think it depends on the athlete. I definitely think there are athletes today that overtrain because they think they're doing the right things. And it's like, I think what you need is more rest, right? More game film. More like watching game film and visually seeing it will also get you reps when it comes to live play because you're watching it, right? You can watch back and say, okay, this is what I should have done different. How many kids are watching their game film right now? I don't know. I used to when I was young. My dad would film every game. I was lucky that he was able to do that. And the first thing we do is go home and watch game film. And I'd be like, oh my gosh, I threw that layup off the backboard. Or like you see it. I'm not physically training, but I'm getting the mental reps in and the like IQ of the game. I don't think enough athletes do that. More reps, definitely. Some athletes don't train enough. They just go to practice and they think that that's okay. And they will only ever be good, if that. You got to be great. You got to stay after. You got to go earlier. There's a lot of coaches who, if you said, hey, coach, can you come to the gym 30 minutes earlier so I can just get a couple extra reps up? Coach would probably say yes 10 out of 10 times. They'd probably be super excited that they have a player on their team that wants to do that. And then hopefully you use your influence to get others to do it.
Going back to the film bit, you've got a projector on that top floor. I've been there.
Yeah.
You going to open that space up?
It's open.
Yeah?
Use it. Yeah.
I mean,
it's
it
open.
could be like a Redline program.
Yeah. Film watching. That's where we do the character classes. They're up there. Yeah. So I'll project the presentation from the projector. There will be teams who rent that room out and they'll use it for film review or like chalk talk type of vibes. So it's open.
Could be a new program.
Could be. Yeah. You're talking to the right girl for new programs. So I'll think on it.
I mean, I've thought about that because we have access to the conference room.
Yeah.
And it's, it's a nice big room, comfortable chairs.
Yeah.
So I've thought about like doing film sessions.
Use it.
But haven't got to it yet.
That's all right. Good to great. Once you
Good
get
to
to
great.
it, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, no, I just think of like, good coaches can just have some magical moments.
Yeah.
And you feel it. You
Yeah.
can't describe it, but you feel it. It's like the good energy you're talking about.
Yeah.
When all the players come and they're training and everyone's on the same page and
Yeah.
there's a vibe going.
100%.
It's just carrying that, sustaining that, everyone buying in and
Yeah.
obviously having success at the end of the season.
Like, imagine if you came to practice, because it's soccer, right? So it's on the field. And your whole team was there 30 minutes early, already doing some sort of dynamic warm-up. Like, by the time you pulled up, you'd probably be like, your mind was blown. And all it takes for that to happen is one athlete to say, hey, guys, I'm going to go to the field early. Who's down to go with me? And then you get one more that says, okay, bud, I'll go with you. And then you get one more. And then even the ones who don't want to do it, they might even go just because they don't want to be the only one who's not going.
Yeah.
Right? But it just takes one small moment to make these massive changes. But that small moment has to come from big courage. And that's really hard.
Yeah. I mean, courage is one of the most... Courage gives you respect.
Yeah.
That's what I always think about skateboarders. The ones that go for the biggest tricks get the most respect.
100%.
And I just love that about it.
Even if they don't land it.
Yeah, even if they don't land it.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, I'm not trying that,
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's how most people operate. Oh, I'm not going to try that. What if I fail?
What are some things that, you might have failed in and you've gotten better over the years?
Oh my gosh. What aren't some things? My first character class I ever did, I think I talked about this on the first podcast, was literally I had an outline written down on paper.
Okay.
I might have typed it up thinking that was professional. And I used the whiteboard and there was like 5 chairs in front of it. And I was just talking.
Like a little semicircle?
Just a little semicircle. And I was talking so much that I could feel my mouth going dry. I could see eyes like glazing over. Like, did they stay engaged? And yes. But like since then, it has taken me so many trial and error moments to get there. Well, and then I used to do where I'll add YouTube videos to the presentation. Like that'll be fun. And then I got asked to do a presentation myself and I was just like, well, I don't want to play a YouTube video for someone paying me to do. I feel like I got to bring me. So if I get rid of the video, what do I do instead? And then it was like, do an activity. Okay, what does an activity look like? And you try a bunch of activities and you see it work. So it's always trial and error. And there are some topics that I have done so many times and feel as if I have mastered that when somebody asks me to put on a seminar and I'm using that same topic, I probably still will tweak something because it's just always...
It's clear.
How can I make it better?
Yeah.
So many things.
Yeah.
Probably so many more things to come.
Yeah. I mean, that's part of the process. It's like you can't be afraid to fail.
No.
You can't be afraid if it looks ugly to start and it gets better. My first episodes were in the conference room.
Yeah.
With no lights, with just garbage.
Yeah.
But you got to start somewhere.
Exactly.
And you have to have the courage to start.
You have to be courageous. Yeah. And I would think also a really good support system. Because you will fail.
Talk about that. Talk about, the support system that an athlete needs to succeed long term, not just short term.
100%. I think what an athlete needs the most, if anything, is like-minded individuals who are going through the same thing or similar. Maybe they're not an athlete, maybe they're a musician and they're trying to fight for first chair. Find individuals who are dedicated to their craft the same way you are, regardless of their success. But there's somebody who practices all the time because those are individuals who get it. So when you put on a performance or you have a game and maybe it was okay, but it wasn't great, some people will tell you, well, but you still had a really good game. That's not what that athlete wants to hear. Right? But if you tell somebody who understands, they'll say, look, dude, outside looking in sounds like you had a great game, but I also understand the need to be better. And I'm sure that's hard to sit with right now. So like take your time and decompress. Enjoy the win for sure. Like be a great teammate and show up. And then tomorrow try to figure out how to be better. But tonight just enjoy yourself. Like people need to hear that.
Which one do you feel is more of your inclination, the first or the second approach? Do you give them a little more tough love or you give them more a little supportive?
I'm definitely a tough love person.
Yeah, straight to the truth.
Super supportive though, also. You know, but like, yeah. And my friends gave me the same. And find out who can do that for you. If I don't need tough love, I'll go to like my mom, right? I'll go to my mom. I'll go to my dad who are going to tell me, yeah, you know what? Things happen. That's life. You're going to be okay. If I want someone to say, hey, this could have been better, I'm probably going to go to some of my best friends who are also in their own fields and killing it. Because they're going to tell me, look, dude, I thought it was great and it's super engaging. But yeah, this part of your seminar, I got lost a little bit. I want to know that, you know, and I know that they still think I'm great and they still love me, but I want that raw and honest feedback.
You know, I saw, I think it was you. You had like online courses that you were developing. Is that you or is that somebody else? Are you still doing that? Is that part of the...
Well, okay. So I have a subscription base to the business. We're trying a bunch of things, right?
Yeah.
Try a bunch of stuff, see what happens. So what happened was I posted a video on TikTok, went viral. Everybody started asking, can you send me this presentation? And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. But you're giving me a great idea of maybe I should start a subscription where coaches will have access to all of the content I create. They pay me a monthly fee and then they can do whatever they want. So what I started doing was sending one free topic to those who asked in exchange for their email address, right? Like, hey, give me your email, I'll send it to you. And I call them my home seminars. So it has the meat of what I teach and the topic, but I'll take out some personal stuff that I've added, right? Like kind of give you like the bones of it. I'll give you a topic guide. So like, hey, this slide, I focused on these 3 things. Obviously do what you want, but here's how my brain was working. I'll give them the group activity I've done, worksheets they can print out like in a little folder. And for $4.99, super affordable, you have access to everything. And every month I will upload a new topic because every month I teach a new topic.
So where do you upload these things and where can you watch them?
So they get uploaded to a Google Drive. The Google Drive is password-based protected on my website page. And in order to have that landing page, you have to pay me. And then once you do, then you create your username, your login. It's like pretty legit. And then the username and login gives you access to all the folders. But of course, as soon as I add you to the Google Drive, you're just going to get a Gmail notification. So still things to work out. But yeah, I have 10 people. Not bad. And I don't really promote it.
When did you start it?
We'll say less than 6 months ago. So not too bad. And I was like pushing it really hard when it first came out. But now it's just residual, you know? And if I can grow it, I will. And I have probably a list of 200 emails. And I will send, and that's not necessarily all from like TikTok, but just other connections. And I'll send out a newsletter and a topic release page for when something new gets released. And if people find it interesting, then pay $40.99, you can have it.
Yeah. My problem is I like to give away things for free.
Well, you have to. Yeah. But also protect it, you know? Give one, like I give one for free. Yeah. And that in exchange, I get your email. And maybe you don't sign up right then and there, but after you see a couple more topics released, you might be like, okay, I want access to this, you know? So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can do like a paid wall behind a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, but I just, you know, people go to YouTube for free. They don't
Sure.
go to pay for things.
Yeah, and you're going to have different parts, right? Like, that's such a low, that's probably like my coffee budget for the month, right? Like, it's so minuscule to the overall picture, but people want to do it. I'd rather have people who can have access to something that they want versus not having access.
Did you look at any other subscription services like Patreon or Substack or, you know, those kinds of things before you did your Google Drive?
No, mainly because the software I use HubSpot. I used to work at HubSpot as a sales rep. So I have their software for free for life. And this is like some enterprise level software. And I know how to use it because I sold it, thankfully. So it's just like, I just use what I have for free. Okay. I will eventually have to get off of the Google Drive though. If it blows up one day, which again is not my goal, then yeah, we'll have to move off of it. But I've messed with the permissions enough to where I don't think you can't share the link like to just a bunch of other coaches. You also can't edit anything. so I don't want people, or like make copies, because I don't want people copying it and then changing it and calling it their own. So it's pretty much, it is what it is. But it has to at least be like 5-6 months, because I can see how much money each individual has paid me over time. And some of them are close to like those 50 or no, like, 40, 50 marks. So it's been a while.
Yeah, subscription based. Yeah. Who knows what the future is for business? I think AI is going to take a ton of jobs in the next 10 years.
Yeah.
And everything's going to get reshuffled.
It is.
That's part of the reason, I started a YouTube channel. I just think the next 10 years it's going to be helpful to have one.
100%. Because it's yours, right? Can't put a robot up there. Not
Can't
for
put a
this.
robot. Well, they've had some.
They might.
Yeah.
Yeah, they might.
I heard you can listen to AI podcasts, and it freaks me out.
Really?
Because they're so human sounding.
Wow.
Yeah. So I don't mess with it.
I love ChatGPT.
Yeah, I use it sometimes.
Oh my gosh, all the time. If it went away, I would struggle. Yeah, ChatGPT that's my go-to. It's my therapist, my nutritionist.
Yeah, what do you ask it?
Whatever. What did I ask it recently? I'd have to look. Like the smallest of like how
Did you
many
create an
ounces
account?
or anything. Oh yeah.
Okay.
The
So it's logging everything.
Oh yeah, so it logs it all, and I have it. Yeah, I pay for this. So then you can use it to edit images.
Yeah, you can.
So I have a picture of my girlfriend's corgi wrapped up in its leash, because she was like barking at some dog and somehow got the leash wrapped up around her nose to like a muzzle. So I thought it was so funny. So I took a picture of her and she looked so cute. And I popped into ChatGPT and I said, edit this image so it looks like she's in jail for barking too loud. And it did, and it was the cutest thing ever. And I was like, this is awesome.
Wow.
Yeah. So ChatGPT, I'm somebody who is like sipping the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about all those AI videos you see pop up?
Okay, so I haven't seen any, and if I haven't realized they're AI.
Oh, really?
So who knows?
I see them all the time.
Do you?
They used to have the tag, like the watermark of the AI company, and now they don't.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's like...
So it could be AI. I just have no idea. Our algorithms are different. I don't know. Mine are puppies doing things, and yours are AI videos.
No. Mine are a lot of skating, a lot of soccer.
There you go.
Yeah.
The good stuff.
The good stuff.
Yep.
Well, anything else you want to leave us with before we wrap it up?
I think the only thing that I want to leave you with today is I just remember the first time we did this. And literally sitting in this chair being like, I don't know, my business will be a year in March. Who knows what's going to happen? And now fast forward to my business will be 2 years in March, and just the growth of it all. And no matter where you are or how far ahead or how far behind you feel, just to keep taking that one small step forward. And when you get knocked down, because you will, and when you have those moments of defeat and lack of confidence, because they will occur, lean on your support, keep going, remember your purpose and why you started, and life rewards the consistent and the hardworking. So wherever you are, keep it up.
When you just mentioned that, it almost sounded like you didn't think BeWeiss would last. Did you have any doubts that it'd continue after that first year?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I would be lying if I didn't.
Really?
I don't know if it'll continue another year or 2 years or 3 years. I have no idea. But what I do know is that I will ride this wave for as long as I can. And knowing myself, it's going to be a long wave. But who knows?
Oh, yeah. I mean, for myself, I never thought I'd, end the podcast after a year. But I certainly never thought you'd, stop your business after a year.
Everybody has those thoughts.
Was it just the self-doubt, you think?
I think it's just everything, right? You think of, like, am I really equipped to do this? Or why am I doing this? What's the purpose? Does anybody find it relatable? Like, so many thoughts. And those thoughts are normal. If you didn't have those thoughts, I would be extremely concerned about your emotional intelligence, right? Because you're either lying to yourself or you're numb to feelings, and neither of those are great things. But I think it's for those who can look themselves in the mirror and be like, I have no idea. if this is going to last a year. I have no idea if anybody finds this relatable or encouraging or inspiring or anything that I hope it to be. But what I do know is that as long as I'm influencing one athlete in those seats, BeWeiss coaching will still be here. And so far, it has been many athletes and students across the county and country, and we are thriving and growing at BeWeiss coaching. So yeah.
Wow. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
And next year, we'll have you back on.
Yes.
And you'll give us more updates and say it just
keeps going.
It just keeps growing and growing.
I love it. Annual check-ins.
Annual check-ins. All right. Well, thank you again, Ashley. And good luck at Redline and good luck with BeWeiss.
Thank you. Appreciate it.